All right, what's going on, everybody? We are live, finally. Been a whole lot going on behind the scenes. Welcome. It is January the 19th, 2025. Let me know how the sound is. All right, I got the okay that the sound is good. Thank you all for being here. Apologize for being 20 minutes late, but we'll get it going. Awareness Daily sounds off, says peace to the gods. All right. I know a few. Who else is here? A Praying Cowboy, you still in the building? Thank you for your patience. Heather Bell is here. And yes, I still have the delay in my monitor, but we'll have to deal with it. If it bothers me too much, I'll just pull out the monitor, headphone, earplugs. But yeah, we're going to cover a lot of information here for educational purposes. And yeah, the rabbit hole goes deep. The rabbit hole goes deep. Earlier the other day, we talked a lot about Trump and his aggressive considerations that are going to be unleashed and unrolled in America like never before. So we're going to cover, again, a lot of territory. So hold on tight. Look forward to your comments and things you want to share with us as well. Let me know if there is an audio or video quality issue, and we'll try to deal with them as we can. Let's start off, first of all, with the External Revenue Service announcement here. Give me one moment, I'll get it up for you.
At this point, you probably know
Hold on.
there's a lot of money to be made in affiliate marketing. So let me show you
No.
things that might help you be
Let's skip that. All right, so oh, hold on. Let me know if you can hear it.
I'm going to immediately impose a 25% tariff on everything they send in to the United States of America. But I said to her, let me just ask you a question. Would you be happy if you had no tax on tips? She said,
All right, so essentially what we're looking at, hold on here,
Recently floated.
that Trump is looking to get rid of essentially the IRS and establish the ERS, External Revenue Service. Sounds great, right? Everybody's like, yeah, no IRS, right? But there's more than meets the eye, obviously, I contend. And we'll see what we can do about covering that. I wanted to actually hear some dialogue. Let's see if I can find something. But yeah, essentially abolishing the IRS and instituting the ERS, the External Revenue Service, where the American people aren't themselves taxed or carrying, tasked with carrying the heavy tax burdens of the United States, and that essentially would transfer that liability to internationally to anyone, any other companies, or excuse me, countries that are doing business in the United States or with the United States. So that's one thing. That's a big thing, huge thing. We'll have to delve deeper into that. What else is out there? Let's see. I was trying to get a list of all of the things. Did you hear also that Trump is forming a type of alliance with Hollywood? Let's see if I can pull that up. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, y'all. And I contend there's a lot to consider, and there's a significant reason as to why it's happening this way, unraveling, unrolling, rolling out all kinds of different things. Let's see. I know it involves Sylvester Stallone. Let's see here. Um, let's see. What is it? Let's see. Yeah, here we go. This is funny. Here, we'll play this for you.
Brad Schimmel called himself Wisconsin's
just
top
stop
cop,
it.
but as a prosecutor, Schimmel repeatedly cut
I got to
deals
figure
with
out how to
sexual
run these without all
predators.
these ads.
Even
Probably
let
have
a
to
man
pay
who
for
sexually
something, I'm
assaulted
sure.
2 children go free with no jail time. Tell
Just
Brad
hold
Schimmel
on
that
for me.
sexual predators don't deserve leniency.
United States
All right, here we go.
President-elect Donald Trump has now appointed 3 Hollywood ambassadors. Actors John Wright, Mel Gibson, Sylvester Stallone, they have been tasked with promoting business opportunities. Donald Trump said Hollywood will be back bigger, better, and stronger. 3 stars now have been appointed by President-elect Donald Trump. Donald Trump has appointed 3 Hollywood ambassadors. Actors John Wright, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone have been named, and they have been tasked with promoting business opportunities. Donald Trump said Hollywood will be back bigger, better, and stronger. President-elect Donald Trump is all set to take oath as for his second term on the 20th of January. And now we are seeing he's putting things back. He's already announced all his cabinet members. And now with regards to Bollywood, it is Donald Trump who has said that these people will serve as special envoys for the purpose of bringing Hollywood. In a statement, Donald Trump also said Hollywood has lost much of the business over the last 4 years to other countries. But now it is time to make sure that Hollywood is back, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. He also said that it was his honor to announce John Wright, Mel Gibson, and Sylvester Stallone to be the special ambassadors to a great but very troubled place called Hollywood in California. All the 3 celebrities actually were recently associated with Donald Trump, and they were also part of his election campaign. What exactly their roles will be, it will become clearer as in the next few days, but at the moment, these 3 actors have been tasked by President-elect Donald Trump to make sure that they spread the word out, and they also make sure that the business that has been lost, the business that Hollywood lost to other countries over the past 4 years, that business comes back to the United States of America.
All right. So there you have it. You remember my last live? I was talking about the constructs. You know, I was just talking about this, and I just saw this morning. I'm like, see, your boy is right again. It's all fiction or artificial. It's all construct. You know, for monetary and financial gain. The biggest boys and girls in the room are the ones that are going to profit the most. And we're just along for the ride, viewing the show. That's what it is. So now, Mel Gibson and others, Sylvester Stallone, are going to essentially be ambassadors, essentially on behalf of the U.S. government, obviously, because Trump is the president-elect right now, but to be sworn in, I think, tomorrow, right? Inauguration day. So, yeah, interesting, right? Oh, did you also hear? Let's see how much we can bring out today before we get into some type of discussion. So, did you hear that your boy Snoop Dogg is going to be performing, I suppose, at the Trump inauguration? Let's take a look at that. Let's see if I can pull that up here. See if I can get something for you. Hold on. Oh, of course you're buffering. Why wouldn't you be? I don't see any audio on that one here. Hold on. Bear with me. We'll get warmed up here. Let's see. These are the performers appearing at Trump inauguration. Let's see if I can get that. That's not video either. Come on now. Let's see. Snoop D-O-double-G. Okay, we'll use CNN. Let's see if this works.
Paychecks, you've got to solve big problems, and I'm going to tell you what the biggest problem.
Here we go. Let's see.
Going to be at this thing. And I think it really does beg the question whether the culture is starting to thaw to Donald Trump. I mean, are they?
About time.
I don't know. I don't think so. We definitely saw a lot of people, Sexy Red, others say, he sent me a check, so I'm good with him, the stimulus check. And I understand that there is that crew of people who are like, the stimmy check came, I like him now. Snoop and Nelly in particular are apolitical people and apolitical artists. Like you see Snoop with Martha Stewart, he's like, I fly over, I want everyone to like me. This is more about capitalism than politics. Somebody said, Snoop, it's the crypto ball. We got $250 for you or $150 for one night. Come do 10 songs, 6 songs, whatever. Yeah, I'm there, homie.
But
Nelly, the same thing.
There are a lot of rappers who have sided with Donald Trump. For all kinds of, he pardoned several of them.
He was giving away pardons.
I mean,
he was giving away pardons to people, and that's why they were endorsing
But
him
I mean,
partly.
what's going on there? What is it about these particular?
These are not the intellectuals of hip hop. These are not except for Kanye. These are typically not political people at all. Like like I said, there's some in the hood. There's this notion of he's tough. He gave us money, right? They're not.
I was reminded also, I mean, back in the 80s, Donald Trump was, at the boxing matches. He was with Don King. I mean, he was in a different place in the culture. He went into the 90s as the subject of rap songs. And just,
You remember I said that, right? Remember I said, all of a sudden, now he's making that separation himself from all of the A-listers, the rappers and all that. But back in the day, he was in the thick of it, okay? And I'm alleging that now he has made that separation, essentially using and leveraging Hollywood, the actors, the performers, and whatever, leveraging and separating himself from them, while they go down in flames, like R. Kelly, Diddy. These are all the people that he was in that circle. They, like she's saying, they were using him in rap songs and all that kind of stuff, you know. So, all right, a little bit more here.
Gail, I know you're not a rap expert, but
I am definitely not
a rap expert, but something happened in this election maybe where because of his victory, all the business people were like, you know what? Trump is no longer politically toxic. And some of these folks are making the exact same calculation on the music side as well.
They are doing exactly that. And it is an honor. It's an honor to be able to sing at an inauguration. It's an honor to be able to sing at one of the balls. It's an honor. I have a daughter who's a singer, and she was on American Idol, one of the finalists.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
And she was asked to sing at a convention. And she lost so many friends and so many fans because she agreed to sing.
Wow.
And I just think it's time for entertainers to get out of politics and entertain.
Well, they're getting into politics in some cases.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
I mean,
Shut up and dribble. Wow. I didn't think we were going to go there.
well, Keith, I mean, what would you say? I mean, if Snoop were sitting right here at this table, what would you tell him?
Well, I had a disagreement with Snoop, I think, a year or two ago. Something he endorsed Rick Caruso.
Did you tell him?
He was supporting Rick Caruso, for mayor of Los Angeles, who I disagree with, and I stated that publicly as well. But you know, I think that a lot of these rappers are not the intellectuals in the community, as Teray was pointing out, but it's also a dishonor to the black community. Yeah. I mean, if you look at Donald Trump, the man who would refuse to rent to black people in the 1970s, who tried to lead a lynch mob against 5 black and brown kids in the 1980s for the Central Park case, who refused to allow black casino workers to have a prominent place in his casinos in Atlantic City in the 1990s, who spent 5.5 years lying about Barack Obama's birth certificate in the 2000s, who came into office and then attacked black people like Colin Kaepernick, who attacked Ruby Freeman and her daughter Shay Moss for simply doing their jobs as Fulton County election workers. You dishonor those people when you go and perform for this man who has done nothing but dishonor black people. And just last year, he was calling Haitian immigrants, accusing them of eating cats and dogs. This is not somebody that black people should be associated with and pretending to normalize. We should be challenging him. And it dishonors the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose birthday we honor on Monday, to celebrate this man.
All right, there you have it. So some strong viewpoints, obviously. I'm not necessarily aligning myself with the whole race issue. If it's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. That's not my bag, right? But you can see, and the point I'm making is that he being Donald Trump was very much in the in crowd at one particular point in time, right? Reality TV, the rap songs, videos, and now he's reaching out to Snoop Dogg allegedly to perform for the inauguration, as well as other rappers in the industry. We know that during the campaign processes that essentially Hollywood and the performers had turned their back on Donald Trump. They were completely on the opposite side. And now everybody's coming home. Now that what I contend is King Trump is now about to take power. And power indeed. We're going to go over some of the power moves that he is making. Let's see, comment section. Kenneth Ritter says, peace and blessings to everyone. Thank you for being here, Kenneth. A praying cowboy. Back to the Future, Part 2. Trump is officially Biff. It seems to line up perfectly. Okay. I get what you're saying. I remember Back to the Future and Biff. Yeah. Essentially the bully beating up on Marty McFly. All right. Praying Cowboy says, stepping on their skeletons. Exactly. This is what I contend. And I see you agree that the very people that he once shook hands with, now, you know, all of Hollywood's crumbling, coming apart at the seams, the performers, and with this sex scandals and what have you, P. Diddy, Jay-Z, and other A-listers, including Ellen DeGeneres, how, you know, essentially never let a good crisis go to waste. And yes, he ran on, as BB Productions is saying in the comment section, draining the swamp. Okay, that was from his first campaign, and it obviously is continuing today. Okay, but that swamp, I remember when he first ran, that people were basically showing his connection to that very same swamp, okay, including the bankers, Jamie Dimon, or whatever his name is, and what have you. He was part of all of that in the first place. How soon we forget, right? But you can go back in the archives and plainly see his involvement. You can see it in the photographs, arm in arm with certain individuals who are now brought under question, including the Clintons. So you have to ask the question, okay, why are you throwing everybody under the bus now if you were very much tied in with them at one point in time? Why now? Okay, and we know, are you familiar with the Art of the Deal? I think it was called Art of the Deal. Art of the Deal. Okay, let's see what they pull up here. Yeah, so as you see here, Art of the Deal is Donald Trump, master strategist. Okay, so you can actually get that book if you're interested. #1 national bestseller. Okay, let's see. The Art of the Deal is an unguarded look at the mind of a brilliant entrepreneur, the ultimate read for anyone interested in the man behind the spotlight, obviously talking about Trump. The Art of the Deal is a 1987 book credited to Donald J. Trump. Okay. Let's see what else. Let's see. As a biographer, Gwenda Blair wrote in 2000, in The Art of the Deal, Trump, right, claims that business deals are what distinguish him. But his most original creation is the continuous self-inflation. Still, those tracing out Trump's life could not discern the more limited reality. Can't hear? Oh, boy. All right. Which one? All right. Sorry about the reverb. Can you all hear me good? All right. So again, he distinguishes himself through his dealings, as it were, is what's going on. He distinguishes himself or hisself by his skill to deal, the art of the deal. Remember The Apprentice and Celebrity Apprentice. It was all about, highlighting strategy. And I contend that he continues to be the master strategist. And these developments take time, and he's willing to take that time. Okay. And so I highlighted in our previous live how I believe that all of these things that we're now realizing were essentially being strategized and constructed back, obviously, in the early 2000s, where, again, I'll show you here. A testing 1, 2. Hopefully you can hear me. All right. Where here, before his first election to president of the United States, Donald Trump had produced and hosted reality TV shows, The Apprentice and The Celebrity Apprentice, from 2004 to 2015. Essentially, everything that he has essentially done in his career leads up to today, is my point. Okay. And it's all about leverage. Okay. It's all about the art of the deal. Okay. And we're going to get into, again, the Time's Up and the Me Too movement, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, the alleged conspiratorial Pizzagate, how all of that ties in. This gentleman here, I use that term perhaps loosely, Rena Alexander Acosta, who was essentially the U.S. attorney who basically let Jeffrey Epstein off Okay. You can see it there for child trafficking. He let him off, gave him a non-prosecution agreement. But more importantly, who was he appointed by? Okay. Where is that at? Boom, boom, boom. President Donald Trump nominated Acosta. Okay. During his first presidency in 2017. Okay. There's a link there, right, to Epstein. Okay. So it might be able to be said that given the fact of what we now know Epstein was involved with and this alleged list of A-listers who were visiting the island, did we forget about that? How come nobody's talking about that anymore? So it could be said potentially that we can use, or in this case, Mr. Trump can use and leverage all of those A-listers and their indiscretions and participation with Jeffrey Epstein. We can leverage that, throw them all under the bus. First, get them involved, right? We got Epstein. We use him as an informant, right? He has the whole list. It's his island. You know what I mean? So he's seeing everybody coming through there, every A-lister, celebrity, politician, etc., etc. Epstein holds the bag. And so the appointee of Donald Trump holds the power to either indict and imprison Jeffrey Epstein, the host on this island, or has the power to let him go. Mr. Epstein, we got you. Even though we've been monitoring, I mean, we knew about the island. It ain't like you're going to hide the island. Plus, he was already connected, he being Donald Trump, he was already connected to all the A-listers from the early 1980s. He was in the camp. So we know who has been coming to your island, but we'll let it baste for a while. We'll let it cook for a while. We'll let it simmer until at such time I choose to use this as leverage. So Trump's the one that appointed the one with the power to bring Mr. Epstein to justice. But he chose to let him go. And all of a sudden, all of this unravels, all of this sex trafficking, sexual assaults, the Me Too movement, the Time's Up movement, all of a sudden everything unravels. And guess what? Guess who comes to power in the midst of it all? Yep, Mr. Trump. Genius. As a praying cowboy says, stepping on their skeletons. It's capitalism, baby, at its finest. You've always heard me say it. That's what capitalism is all about. You want to win at this game, you capitalize on the misfortune of others. And Trump is king capitalism. So I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there for y'all to consider. I mean, freedom of press, freedom of speech, and all that kind of stuff. You disseminate through this information. This rabbit hole goes pretty deep. Let's back up. Let's cover the Time's Up real quick to bring greater context to this conversation or this dialogue. So the Time's Up was a nonprofit organization, okay, that aimed to help victims of sexual harassment. It was founded in 2018 by Hollywood celebrities. It's always going to lead back to Hollywood, y'all. And remember, Mr. Trump, the tie that binds, has now formed this agency ambassadorship with the likes of Sylvester Stallone and John Voight and Mel Gibson, A-listers in Hollywood. Okay, here we go. So the Time's Up was founded in 2018, so 2 years after Trump is in office already. Go figure. Correlation. In response to the Me Too movement, this one preceded. We'll cover that in a moment. So it came before Time's Up, and so the organization ceased to operation. Okay, so let's look at the Me Too. This one preceded, obviously. The Me Too movement is a social movement that raises awareness of sexual abuse, harassment, and rape culture. The movement's goal is to empower survivors and create a culture free from sexual violence. It was started by activist Tarana Burke, okay, who used the phrase, quote unquote, Me Too on MySpace, that's how far it goes back, to raise awareness of sexual assault. Okay, so this is where it starts. Okay, not yet in Hollywood. It was just an individual activist, Tarana Burke. Okay, I'll show you who that is. Hold on. Tarana Burke. Okay. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Remember that. Take advantage of it. It's capitalism. Capitalize on someone else's misfortune. A praying cowboy says, maybe Puffy gave Trump those tapes of his house and the politicians who came for a pardon. Maybe, praying cowboy. Good point. Good point. But never let a good crisis go to waste. Capitalize on it, baby. All right, so Tarana Burke. Who is Tarana Burke? Tarana Burke, born September 12th, 1973, is an American activist from New York City who started the Me Too movement. Okay, so she started it. In 2006, Burke began using Me Too to help other women with similar experiences to stand up for themselves. Okay, so we're not saying that there was not an actual event. We're not saying that there was not an actual injury caused to somebody. But what we are saying is that you never let a good crisis go to waste. What we are saying is if you are a master strategist, okay, a master capitalist, okay, you're going to use a very real situation and create an artificial situation out of it. Okay, we always talk about here at KnowledgeWell Media, we always talk about and consider natural law versus positive law. Oh, my phone fell. We always talk about the distinction, which is very much recognized in the upper echelon in the political realm. They know the difference between the two. An artificial simply means man-made. Okay, so you have nature-made and then you have man-made. And remember, we covered, it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope rhyme to step to, whatever. We covered William Blackstone, who is essentially accredited with writing the commentaries on the laws of England. And he explains why it became necessary to create artificial persons, corporations, legal and commercial entities. And it is to provide perpetual succession and a type of legal immortality. What does that mean? That means what the upper echelon, the elitist, considered was that when a human perishes, ceases to exist, becomes unalived, or AKA dies, we can say that now because TikTok is not limiting my speech. Oh yeah, TikTok's gone, by the way, right? Another talking point. But I digress. We'll get on that. Let me write that down. TikTok savior. We'll talk about that. But anyways, perpetual succession and a type of legal immortality. Why? Because when a human passes or ceases to exist, so did their rights prior to the creation of these artificial persons that cannot die. Therefore, they have a type of legal immortality. Okay? And furthermore, the things, the property, the assets that belong to an artificial person, as opposed to a natural person, would have perpetual succession. You'll be able to hand them down, okay, perpetually hand them down to the next in line. That's important and that's key. Why? Because the key to wealth, okay, longevity, and a strong legacy is in the ability to preserve one's wealth. Whereas, and in contrast to or with, impoverished-minded individuals who are merely consumers. As soon as I get $1, that means I need to spend it. Okay, as opposed to, I have $1, I'm going to take 50% of that dollar, put it away in an interest-bearing account. You see the difference? A consumer merely gets something and consumes it. What does it mean to consume something? It means to use it till it's no more. Okay, so there is no interest garnered or gained from it. All right, and therefore, once you use it, it's gone. There's nothing left. There's nothing to benefit or to hand down to anybody else thereafter. Okay, and so perpetual succession was one of the two reasons that the elite decided, to create these artificial persons. Essentially, if you've seen the movie, The Walking Night of the Living Dead or Walking Dead or what have you, it's talking about the dead that are amongst us, right? And you can only see them in their actual dead state when you wear when you have eyes to see or have the glasses which reveal them. Okay, if you've never watched that, I would recommend that you go and watch that movie. Okay, I think it's Night of the Living Dead. What is it called? Among Us. They Walk Among Us. Something like that. Rowdy Ryan Piper, the old wrestler. But check that out. But this is why it was necessary, in accordance with William Blackstone. All right, to create these artificial persons. And so that's exactly what I contend is happening here. Never let a good crisis go to waste. All right, you take this very real situation, a tragic situation where this young lady had gone through lots of sexual abuse from a very young age, and she became an activist for that purpose. And through the Me Too movement, she's looking to help others identify, okay, with having gone through a similar tragedy in their life. Yeah, They Live. Thank you, Praying Cowboy. If you haven't seen that, go watch that movie. Okay, it's deep. It explains a lot in consideration of the artificial persons. Okay, but the Me Too. Okay, and so here's again Tarana Burke. So over a decade later, in 2017, now comes Hollywood. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Now they're going to take advantage, capitalize on a very real situation, a tragic situation, and they're going to essentially, you know, how real, what was it? What's the term? When Hollywood takes a story and a real event in history, and it's based on that story, and they kind of spruce it up a little bit to make it more entertaining. That's essentially what Hollywood does. And so that's what they did here. And so over a decade later, in 2017, Me Too became a viral hashtag when Alyssa Milano, who, she was an actress in the 80s. Who's the Boss, I think, was her most famous role. She played, Samantha. You can see it there. Oh, wait, let me share it. Hold on. There you go. Alyssa Milano here. Born December, 72, is an American actress. Go figure. Here's Hollywood taking advantage of a situation. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Okay? So here's Alyssa Milano, an American actress, an activist. See? Using it for whatever purpose, okay? Oh, she was in Charmed too? Yeah, okay. Oh, that's correct, yeah. She has played Samantha Micelli in Who's the Boss, 1984 to 1992. Jennifer Mancini in Melrose Place. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Melrose Place. Phoebe Halliwell in Charmed. There you go. Billy Cunningham in My Name is Earl. Savannah Savvy in Mistresses. Renata Murphy in Wet Hot American Summer, 10 years later. Okay. And Coralie Armstrong in Insatiable. As an activist, Milano is known for her role in the Me Too movement. You see that? You see that? Never let a good crisis go to waste. If you do anything significant in history, whether good or bad, Hollywood's going to look to get that story. And they're going to make billions off of your story. Do something crazy if you want to. Hollywood's going to find a way to profit off of it. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's the game. They take the natural, the very real situation, and they create something artificial out of it for profit and gain. That's capitalism. And this is what I contend Donald Trump himself is doing. All right, we'll get deeper into it. But I just wanted to demonstrate for you her activism, her long list. Here, look at this. This is how the game is played. In the late 1980s, ironically, isn't this where it said that Trump started? In the 80s, basically, with all the stars, the A-listers and what have you? He had a real involvement. Okay? So check this out. Everything's going back here. Look, in the late 80s, Milano contacted Ryan White, a preteen boy ostracized for having AIDS, and a fan of hers. She attended a party for him where she sat with him for 6 hours. Oh, she's such a nice person. Making friendship bracelets. They appeared together on the Phil Donahue show. More publicity. Where Milano kissed White on the cheek to emphasize that people do not catch the disease through casual contact. Okay, since 2004, Milano has canvassed for national, state, and local candidates. Are you seeing it? Never let a good crisis go to waste. In October 2004, Milano participated in the UNICEF Trick or Treat campaign as the national spokesperson. By any means necessary, I'll become, popular nationally and internationally. She raises approximately $50,000 for South African women and children with AIDS by selling her own and schools' photo work. In support of PETA, she appeared in a 2007 advertisement for them advocating vegetarianism. She's all over the place. In a dress made entirely of vegetables. In June 2007, the Sabin Vaccine Institute named Milano a founding ambassador for the Global Network, for neglected tropical diseases. And the list is just going to keep going on and on. 2009, ran an online fundraising campaign for charity. Water? Her original goal was to raise, so I think you get the point. It goes to 2014. She just keeps going. And then 2017, again, is known as the Me Too movement, started by Tarana Burke. Took advantage of that situation. I mean, I'm not necessarily speaking against, you know, helping people and speaking up for people that don't have a voice. That's not the point. I hope you understand that and don't misconstrue what I'm doing here. Let me see here. Yeah, the Me Too movement. According to Milano, a friend, I wonder who that friend is, suggested that she post a message on her Twitter account. Oh, who's you know, the one that that pretty much used Twitter to gain global recognition leading up to the presidential run, and used it during the campaign and all that kind of stuff. Who did that? So I wonder who this friend might have been. I don't know. Just a bit of conspiracy theory. Who might that have been that contacted her and said, you know what? You know how we can make a lot of money? I don't know. I'm just saying. It makes sense. It makes dollars. So this friend suggested that she post a message on her Twitter account encouraging survivors of sexual harassment and assault to post #MeToo as a status update. This was to measure the widespread problem of sexual misconduct. You mean like stating that you grab women by the She was inspired to bring awareness to the commonality of sexual abuse of women. Well, as a master strategist, I might look for someone that is an activist, that has a long record of being recognized as an activist, and using her Hollywood repertoire to throw everybody under the bus. I need somebody to do this and do this good. Somebody with a reputation and a long list of activism. I'm just saying. Yeah, this rabbit hole. She was inspired. Let's read a little bit more. She was inspired to bring awareness to the commonality of sexual abuse of women in the wake of Harvey Weinstein's expulsion from the Academy of Motion Picture, Arts and Sciences for sex crimes against women in the film industry. He was there to throw them all under the bus. He's on a mission. Throw them all under the bus. Even Harvey Weinstein, right? Academy of Motion Picture. Look at arts and science. What did I tell y'all a while ago about art? Y'all remember that study we did? Let's look at that real quick. I got to keep taking these in and out because that echo is just, yay. I'm going to fix that one day. One day. Let's look at something real quick. Remember this? Let's go back. Let's go back. Remember this? Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. Let me highlight this for you, as I've done before. Genesis chapter 3, talking about this serpent. The serpent is not a snake. Not from this standpoint, okay? Don't get it twisted. You have to look at the symbolism, all right? Don't get lost in the sauce. Now, the serpent was more subtle. This is the term we're going to be looking at for a moment here. I want you to be able to identify the tactics of the most crafty, the most cunning, the most strategic capitalist of all time, perhaps. Subtle. This particular serpent, the serpent is symbolic of a beast. A beast because it's part of the mechanism, okay? It's an animal. We marvel at beast. Why? Because how they're able to jump, or hunt or prey on something, right? Their body's finely tuned. They don't spend hours and days in the gym, as it were, like we do, having to build up like that. They kind of have a natural anatomy for prey or being predators, right? So here we go. This is that serpent, that beast, was more subtle. We're going to focus on this term. I'll just finish reading. Than any beast. Remember, a beast is a system, okay, of the field or the globe, the world, which the Lord God had made. Okay, later for that part. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath God, the source, right, hath nature said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said unto the beast, the system, the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Okay? And the serpent, of course, is going to beguile her, trick her, deceive her, and tell her. And the serpent said unto the woman, the system, okay, the mechanism is speaking to the woman and saying, ye shall not surely die. In other words, it won't be a natural death. No worry. It's not what you think it is. You're not going to die naturally. It's just that God, the source, nature knows that when you partake or eat of this particular tree of knowledge, light, Illuminati, the esoteric, the occultic, when your eye becomes open, okay, and you understand these secret things, in that day, your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall become like gods. And I contend, and I've done a research project on this, look back in my archives, that this gods, the little g, as opposed to the big G or uppercase G, okay, is symbolic of the elite. You may know them as the what they call the men of renown, the Anunnaki. See, you're looking at stature and height. They got you looking at the at the stature of a thing. Like there were actual literal giants, and now they're coming up with all these skeletons of these large headed beings, and that allegedly existed. But I contend, no, these are man-made artifice. These are constructs, that they've created to throw you off from what is actually happening and what things actually mean. Okay, there's illumination and there's darkness. There's understanding and there's lack of understanding. And the people are destroyed for what they do not know. Doesn't it say that? All right. And so these gods, these lowercase gods, are the elite ones. Okay, the ones that sit at the top of the pyramid, the illuminated ones. Okay, and the big G is nature itself, the source from where all things come up. We've done that research project. That's the distinction. Okay, they're gods as well, but there's one God, there's one natural order. Okay, but these lowercase g gods are the elite, the illuminated ones. These are the ones who take the natural in order to create artificial things through which they establish their godhood. Because if you can trick them, you can beat them. Let me say that again for those in the back. If you trick them, then you can beat them. Let me say it a different way. If you can deceive them, then you can capitalize on them. Are you picking up? what I'm putting down. That's the game, set, and match. Chess, not checkers. All right, let's keep reading. So these gods, these elite, they know good and evil. What's the significance of that? You're just looking at the terms good and evil and using your church, your biblical lessons that you grew up hearing, right? Being dictated to you and what have you, indoctrinating you and programming you. You're just looking at the terms good and evil, and you just assume that there's a real devil and there's angels and there's this eternal struggle and battle between these light beings and these darkness beings and all that. That's what you've been programmed to consider. But these are terms that themselves are constructs of men. These have power because of the one that has defined them. Okay? That's why they have power. These are not, how shall I say? These terms are not metaphysical. They're not supernatural. A man sat down and created these terms. So the power that they have is in the definition that has been assigned to them. I like to use the example of, so when you communicate with an animal, let's just say a dog, right? Man's best friend. You can say any manner of terminology or words that you want to. The dog does not speak that language. Oh, you's a good boy. You's a good boy. The dog's like, rrr, rrr, right? Tuning in. Remember, I used to tune the dial on the radio? That's what's happening. Everything is frequency vibrations. You know that. That's all. We're tuning in. You find yourself doing that too? Like, what'd you say? You're just tuning in to the one that's talking. That's all. Anyways, the dog does the same thing. Do you really think that the dog understands the language that you're talking? I mean, did they go to grammar school and grade school and learn the English language and all the phonetic, sound? They didn't learn all those things. They don't know what the letter A is. They don't know what vowels are. You're not communicating through the word that you're saying. But you know how they learn you? Is through the sounds, the inflections and fluctuations of your voice. The wave sound, the wave pattern is what they're picking up. Try it. Okay. Go sit down. You go sit down. Get out of here. Get down from there. Is it necessarily the words that you are saying and articulating, or have they learned your wave pattern, the volume of what you're saying? When you're upset, they learn that you talk at a higher pitch and with more emphasis. You see what I'm saying? So my point is that the power in the term or the word is not necessarily in the letter itself. It's in what's behind it. I don't know if this is a good demonstration. Oh, you're so stupid. You could say that to the dog, and the dog would probably be like, come up and rub up against you, because it's used to you talking soft and in a certain tone when you're being kind. But what if I said, you are so stupid? You know what I mean? The dog would cower and probably run away. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, so the power is in the definition, and who makes the definition? All the ones that wrote the dictionaries, the thesauruses, right? They know what they meant behind the terminology, and they use that to their advantage. They capitalize on it. So that is what they're talking about when they're saying that these gods, knowing good and evil, because they set the good and the evil behind the term through the definition. Ye shall not surely die. It's not a natural death. It's just that God knows the natural order, the source, Mother Nature knows that in the day that you partake of this, that you eat of this, that you become a consumer. Then your eyes shall be opened. Your understanding will be open. You'll see the light. And when that happens, ye shall be as us, one of the brotherhood, one of the illuminated ones. You'll be like us. You'll have ascended to whatever degree you want to consider, 33rd degree, whatever, right? You'll see the light. And then you'll know the power of the terms and the words. You'll know why we speak the way we do. You'll understand the legalese that we use in order to capitalize on other people who are not gods, who do not know the definitions and how to skillfully and artistically use these terminologies in order to capitalize upon others. Are you picking up what I just put down? Are you picking up what I just put down? This is what I contend is going on. Now, let's get back to subtle before I get too far ahead of myself, because this is the focus. Looking at the comment section. Fred Mitchell says, very interesting. Indeed. Oh, you ain't heard nothing yet. BB Production says, you can speak in a different language at someone, cussing them out, but in a soft tone, and it doesn't affect the person because they don't know the difference. My point exactly. Thank you. My point exactly. I wish I could pen that up. I can't. Exactly. Very good. If I called you a name in Spanish and you don't know Spanish, what effect does it have on you? Que estúpido. Mira que flaco. If you don't know Spanish, that would affect you none. You see, it's the point, it's the fact of knowing the language so that you know the meaning of the word. Then it will have effect on you and take effect. To double down on that, the metaphysical becomes physical. It manifests. We did a series on manifestation. It manifests upon the fabric of reality when the frequency, the vibrations work in tandem with each other. When they mix together like the ingredients of a cake, independently, they're not going to taste too good. Cinnamon over here, sugar over here, butter over there. Independently, they're not going to necessarily taste that good, right? But when you mix them all together, when you take those essentially metaphysical elements and you put them all together, then that thing starts to taste good, right? It has a real effect upon you once they come together. And that's how sound and vibration, okay? When they all come together, you get an understanding. Your eye becomes open and you become like gods. You want to become like gods. You want to act and operate in your God-like state? Then you need to know this. You need to know this. Now, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get to subtle real quick. Let's get to subtle. Let's do a little research project. I didn't mean to necessarily go down this path, and we'll probably have to do like a part 2 or 3 or 4, whatever. But I just want to get y'all thinking. I just want to get y'all thinking. Comment section. Let's see. BB Production says tone is 100 key to power. Yeah. A praying cowboy says, right. True Santiago's in the building. Thank you for being here. Peace, fam. Peace back to ya. You catch that frequency, that vibration? A praying cowboy says, I know what you just said, like no. Just said like no. Okay. Like now? Awesome. All right. All right, let's get to subtle. This is really good. It gets really fun. So what does subtle mean, y'all? We could take it at face value. We could just look at it on the surface and just let it right over our head, right? Which, remember, the people are destroyed for what they do not know, the lack of knowledge. You have to go after this thing, like Eve right here. I got to go back. And the woman, okay, now that the serpent, the beast, the system, the most cunning, the crafty one, the most subtle beast of the field, which nature had made, the God of nature had made and created, right? Had lured her in, is working on deceiving her. Deception is a whole lot of truth with just a little bit of lie, just a speck. All you need, just a little bit of lie, all right? Kool-Aid and water, remember? Just a little bit of Kool-Aid to turn that whole picture the color of the Kool-Aid. That's deception. So now that he has her deceived or interested at least, right? Now look what happens. And when the woman saw that the tree that they're speaking of, which tree? The tree of knowledge of good and evil, the tree that would open up her understanding and help her to know the definitions and what the definitions of the terms are so that she could become like a god, right? Now that there's an interest there, it says, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, so there's lust of the flesh, I believe it is. Yeah, lust of the flesh. Okay? And not only did she see with her, she's perceiving, right? With her senses. And then that it was pleasant to the eyes. It looked good. There's the lust of the eye. So lust of the flesh, lust of the eye. And then not only that, come on. Why'd you do that? Let's get back. And a tree to be desired to make one wise. There's the pride of life. Lust of the eyes, or excuse me, lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Let me help you out with that. Lust of the flesh. Let's see. Let me help you out with that. Let you know I'm not just saying this. I'm not just saying for all that. Okay, here it is, right here. Galatians 5:16. I know what I'm talking about, y'all. I've been in Christianity for over 40 years, y'all. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not there anymore, but I got what I needed so that I can do what I'm doing today. Everything has a purpose and a reason, even 40 years later. Listen, 1 John 2:16 says, for all that is in the world, commerce, baby, all that is in the global system, the lust of the flesh. That's where it says she looked upon it and saw that it was good for food. The lust of the eyes, there it is, pleasant to the eyes. See how it correlates? And the pride of life. Look, always looking over on the other side. The grass is always greener. I want what somebody else has. I want to be the best. I want to be the strongest. I want to be the most powerful. I want to be king or queen, whichever you choose. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? That's all that is in the world, y'all. Why? Because man has become like gods, knowing good and evil. Man has found a way to set the definitions of words and terms, to use them, to capitalize. That is all that is in the global system, aka the world. That's all it is. You either get with it or get off it. You know, get down or lay down. Your choice. But this system is going forward. Make no mistake about it. You either learn the game of chess or you're going to lose. You come here playing checkers or Uno or any other game, you're going to lose. I'm just saying, you make your choice. For all that is in the world, again, 1 John 2:16, The lust of the flesh, lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, the source, God, nature. It's not of nature. Huh? Don't get it twisted. Keep the natural separated from the artificial, is what they're saying. Don't conflate the two. Don't commingle the two. If you do, you will operate and become subject to deception. The subtle one, the crafty one, is going to come and lure you into the deadly sins. Lust. Huh? These things are not of the source, the creator, nature, but is of the world. Whose world, you should be asking? The natural world, the natural order, or the legal artificial realm world? There are two. You want me to prove it? You want me to prove that they know that there are two different and distinct halves of the world? Watch, I'll prove it to you, like I always do, like we always do about this time. Ha ha! Y'all remember that? I'm getting silly. Must be time to get off. Let me show you that they know that there are two halves to this world. Watch this. We'll go to the legal definition right here. Law dictionary. Look at the term jural. Here we go. Looking at the comment section. A praying cowboy said, so is this why the English language is a spell? Even when Latin language has already used these terms? Absolutely. It's called spelling. You're casting a spell and you're writing in curses or cursive. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, y'all, to the beat. Okay. So look at the term jural. Let me prove to you that the legal order, the elite, whatever and their ilk know that there is a distinction between the natural and the artificial. Look at this term jural. It pertains to natural or positive right. There you go. There's a contrast, right? There's the natural or there's the positive right. Okay? Or to the doctrines of rights and obligations as jural relations. Number two, of or pertaining to jurisprudence. You may have heard of that term. The law systems, juristic, juridical. These are types of legal and commercial persons. They're not natural persons. Again, we're making the distinction between the natural and the artificial. Look, number three, recognized or sanctioned by positive law. See, there is positive law. The alternative, as you're going to see, is natural law. They are not one and the same, and they know it. Later for that. Embraced within or covered by the rules and enactments of positive law. What is positive law? I've done this many times for y'all, but I'll do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Here we go. What is positive law as distinguished? Come on. Positive law codifications is what I'm looking for. Let's see if I can find it here. Positive law codification. Let's see. Bing, bang, bing, boom. Here we go. We'll go to the house.gov, positive law codification, where they'll make the distinction between the two, natural law versus positive law. Where are you at? Boom, 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 boom. All right. In general, right here in the middle, the term positive law connotes statutes. Connotes is means, right? Means statutes. That's what it means. I.e., that is to say, or in other words, law that has been enacted by a duly authorized legislature, okay? By a body of men and perhaps women, right? It's a particular type of law, not natural law. You'll see. As used in this sense, what? What sense? The sense that it is enacted by a body of men and women. Statutes. In that sense, positive law is what? Look at that term. What does it say? Distinguishable from what? Natural law. Why? because one law is made by men, and you'll see here now that the term natural law, especially as used generally in legal philosophy, refers to a set of universal principles. The key term being universal. That means it applies to everyone, all, globally. Universal principles and rules that do what? Properly, not improperly, govern who? Moral, human conduct. Unlike a statute, which is positive law, remember? Positive law connotes statutes, it means statutes. So unlike positive law, statutes, natural law is not created by human beings. Rather, natural law is thought to be what? The pre-existing law of nature. Can I get an amen and a hallelujah? And I'll even take a 777. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? And this is what I contend. Okay, let's finally let's cover subtle real quick before I forget. Now, so this serpent, this beast, this capitalist, now you see where the Antichrist is going to actually reveal him or herself. You know, can you see it now? As the master strategist and capitalist, being more subtle than any other system ever before, any other beast of the world or globalist system, which the source, nature, had made. See, nature made a system too. It's the circle of life. That's the natural order. That's what Simba, Nala, Rafiki, Pumbaa, that's what they were showing in The Lion King, the movie. The circle of life. That's what they were showing in Avatar with the tree of life. See, there's a natural way, a natural order. That's their God. That was their God was that tree, the source. The circle of life is depicted in the Lion King as the God. Nature. But see, this beast is going to be, look, this new beast, this new world order, over which the Antichrist will come forward and reign upon. This system, now this serpent, this beast, is going to be more subtle, more cunning, more crafty, you're going to see here in a moment, than any beast of the field, any creation of the field which nature had made. You ain't never heard it said like that, but that is what this means. You have to look deeper than the surface value of these terms and look at the esoteric. There's no freaking aliens. There's no freaking Anunnaki. Not as in a giant physical sentient being. It's all symbolic, metaphoric, allegorical, y'all. Don't be deceived. Because if they can get you searching and digging in the earth for some bone structure of some megalith or some giant, then you'll be dissuaded and deceived into deceived away from what you really need to be taking from and understanding, y'all. Good thing we ain't on TikTok. This will get shut down quick. Bye, TikTok. Rest in peace, TikTok. We'll get on that in a moment. I'm laying it out for y'all. That's what's going on, y'all. Don't be tricked by Santa Claus. It's a nice story. You know, the kids have fun. They got something to look forward to every year, but don't be tricked by it. It ain't real. It ain't real like Prometheus ain't real, or Zeus ain't real, or Thor, or Poseidon ain't real, or Iron Man ain't real, or Captain America ain't real. These are all metaphorical. They're symbolic. They represent something that only those who who have eyes to see will get. Yeah, okay. So we got to get this subtle out of the way, don't we? This beast is going to be more subtle. Now, what does subtle mean? Let's take a look. What does subtle really mean? How shall I do this? Oh, yeah, let's go to my favorite place. We're going to end up here in short order. We'll have to continue. I hope this has been interesting to you. Fred Mitchell thinks it's interesting. Let's look at subtle. I'll take you down this rabbit hole real quick. What are they trying to say? What are they saying in Genesis about this particular beast? And, you know, since it's this particular beast, you got to believe that there's a ruler over this particular system that's coming. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Respect to you as well, all guys. Thank you for being here. 777, appreciate that. I feel myself getting stronger. Don't forget, there's a beast system, which is already here, right? That one world thing, it's already here. But there has to be a ruler over that. And that's who we're waiting for. I contend we're not anymore. We're not waiting anymore. We're not waiting anymore. We're not waiting anymore. Listen, y'all. The most strategic, subtle, cunning, powerful individual as far as Hollywood, bringing all the connectivity of Hollywood and all that together for the first time under the government. Under the government. That's point number one. Point number two, has linked up with the wealthiest man in the world, Elon Musk. Put the two together. What do you have? I ain't throwing up gang signs. What do you have? What happens when big government merges with big business? What is that called, y'all? Let me help you out. What is that called, y'all? Anybody know? What is that called? The New Yorker covers it. Boy, I'm going down all. I told you it was a lot of information. What is it called? Okay, let me see. Hold on. Hold on real quick. Hold on. I do have AI now, don't I? Okay, you said Fred Mitchell says called an oligarchy. Is that what it is? Hold on real quick. All right, here we go. Corporatism. Corporatism is a political system of interest, representation, and policymaking whereby corporate groups such as agriculture, labor, military, business, scientific, or guild associations come together and negotiate contracts or policy. Collective bargaining on the basis of their common interest. The term is derived from the Latin corpus. Go figure. Corporations, corpus, body, dead body, artificial person, perpetual succession, a type of legal immortality. Did that ring a bell? We just covered it. William Blackstone. Corporatism does not refer to a political system dominated by large business interests, okay? Even though the latter are commonly referred to as corporations in modern American vernacular and legal parlance, okay? Instead, the correct term for that theoretical system would be corporatocracy. The term corporatocracy and corporatism are often confused due to their similar names and to the use of corporations as organs, body organs, of the state. Corporatism developed during the, I want to get into corporatocracy though. Come on. Corporatist, okay. Here, this is important, y'all. I know I'm all over, but this is very important because the only way that you can even become close, corporatocracy, I believe, okay, close to defeating an enemy, a perceived enemy or what have you, is if you recognize that enemy. If you don't know who you're fighting, who your real enemy is, remember mom said, I'm not your enemy. I don't know why you're fighting me. I take care of you. Right? But if you don't know who your enemy is, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. Corporatocracy. Okay. Corporatocracy or corporatocracy is an economic, political, and judicial system controlled or influenced by business, corporations, or corporate interests. Well, let me see here. Elon Musk owns Tesla. Elon Musk is the wealthiest man on the earth currently, right? $452 billion. The concept has been used in explanations of bank bailouts, excessive pay for CEOs, and the exploitation of national treasuries, people, and natural resources. It has been used by critics of globalization, one world government, Antichrist, sometimes in conjunction with criticism of the World Bank or unfair lending practices, as well as criticism of free trade agreements. Trump and all these trade tariffs and things that he's about to levy on everybody. That falls right in line, doesn't it? What did it just say? As well as criticism of free trade agreements. Trump is going after Panama. He's going after Canada. What was the other one? Greenland. He's going to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. No holds barred. He's going after everything. Oh, my bad. My phone keeps falling over. Listen. Corporate rule is also a common theme in dystopian science fiction. Oh, I love science fiction. I love a good science fiction movie. Let's look at what they're talking about. A dystopia, also called a cacotopia or anti-utopia, is a community or society that is extremely bad or frightening. It is often treated as an antonym of utopia, a term that was coined by Thomas More and figures as the title of his best-known work, published in 1516, which created, let me see here, we are down the rabbit hole, y'all. Where did it go? The relationship between, dystopias are often characterized by fear. You fearful today? Maybe not us, but the world as a whole. Or distress, tyrannical governments, environmental disaster, or other characteristics associated with a cataclysmic decline in society. Themes typical of dystopian society include complete control over the people in a society through the usage of propaganda. Aliens are coming. TikTok. And police state tactics. Oh boy. Heavy censoring of information or denial of free thought. Bye, TikTok. We're going to miss you. Worshipping an unattainable goal. An unattainable goal. The complete loss. Listen, worshipping an unattainable goal. Panama, changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Greenland, I think it was. Canada. I'm going to take them all. We're taking everything. We're going. What do you call it? We're going to have a golden age. Worshipping an unattainable goal. Make America great again. The complete loss of individuality. Oh my God, y'all, we're gonna have to go deeper into this another time. All of this exemplifies exactly what is happening right now. All of it. A heavy enforcement of conformity. Despite certain overlaps, a dystopian fiction is distinct from post-apocalyptic fiction, and an undesirable society is not necessarily a dystopian. Dystopian societies appear in many fictional works. Okay, blase, blase, right? All right. Reinterpreting the end of the show. Okay. Okay, let's go back. We don't want to go. I'm getting too far down the rabbit hole. But we were looking at subtle. Now, subtle, and we're going to end up with this. Okay, we'll get back on. Y'all don't let me get off. Okay. Remind me. We need to do part 2. All right. Remind me of that. I appreciate that. So let's look at subtle. Circa 1300, mid 13th century, as a surname, sotil, penetrating, ingenious. Is he ingenious, y'all? Refined of the mind, genius. Sophisticated, intricate, abstruse of arguments, debates, arguments, campaigning. Adept, adroit. Here it is. Cunning, wise, detailed. Look at this. Well crafted. The art of the deal. The art of the deal, courtesy of Donald Trump. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's not this much coincidence in the world, y'all. Who's going to rule the next 100 years or so? I'm not saying physically, but once the family line is in there, you just establish the Rockefeller line. You know, basically Rockefeller, Rothschild, the same way. For the next 100 years, 150 years, maybe 200 years in this corporatocracy. You know, Barron Trump will be next in line of succession. Perhaps Ivanka or whatever his daughter's name for the first female president after dad, you know. They're not going anywhere, y'all. They're not going anywhere. Wealthiest, most powerful man in the world. Now, you know, in alliance, in allegiance, part of the government, Space Force, SpaceX, all that kind of stuff. Introducing Neuralink and all that other stuff's coming, y'all. Huh? You see where we're going? It's already here. Welcome to the New World Order. Welcome to your Antichrist. Welcome to globalist one world government and also the one world religion. Yeah, I'm not going to make time to cover that, but they did announce the bringing together of all the religions into one. Yeah, the art of the deal. The art of the deal. The most cunning, well-crafted, wise, delicate, finely woven, precise, exact, accurate, keen. Let's see what else we can garner from this? Is there anything else here? Oh boy. Artful. Skilled. A craftsman. Clever. Huh? The depreciative sense of insidious, treacherously cunning, deceitful. Interesting. All right, let's go back. So remember, Genesis is telling us, this is where we get it from. This serpent, this beast, and the one that heads it up will be more subtle, more cunning, more crafty, more artful, more skilled than any other of the global system, than any other system that was made naturally, is what they're saying. Okay? But more importantly, we want to know the attributes, the subtleness, the cunning, the crafty. Now, let's go a little bit further here. Let's go a little bit further in closing. Okay? Cunning. I want to cross-reference. Let's see if I can get this right. What is it? Boy, what am I? Okay, techne. Let me see if this comes up. I did a research project on this. What is techne? You see it here. Techne is the ancient Greek term for what? An art or craft. Like carpentry, sculpting, medicine, right? Techne, it's spelled this way as well, or techne, is derived from the Greek term, there's the Greek term, meaning art, craft, technique, or skill. Same terms that we revealed under subtle that is used here in Genesis. We're just taking it a little step further. Okay? My point is, techne is similar to technique, where it derives from. What about this word? In fact, we should look it up in the Edemon dictionary. Watch this. This is where we get this word. What am I looking at? Oh. Technology. Watch this. Where does this term come from? Technology. Created in 1610s. Look, a discourse or treatise on an art or the arts. From Latinized form of Greek technologia. Here's that beast. Systematic treatment of an art, craft, or technique. Check the technique. Check the technique. Check Donald Trump's technique from the early 80s. Kicking it in Hollywood. Connected to all the performing artists. Check the technique. Riding, getting wealthy, becoming a man of renown. A main figure, profiting greatly, enriching himself, to his reality TV debut, and the Apprentice, the book, The Art of the Deal, disclosing his genius, his technologia, his cunningness, craftiness, his subtleness. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Check the technique, his craft. Originally referring to grammar from techno, combining techne, see there it is, art, skill, craft in work, method, system, there it is, Remember, Genesis, what did it say? This serpent's going to be more subtle, more crafty than any other system or beast of the field of nature. It's going to usurp nature. It's going to take over the natural order and create a new world order. I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, that new world order and his or its antichrist. I didn't say that, did I? No, I did. Let's go. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Y'all be good. All right. We'll see you on the next live. All right. But you get what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I love y'all. But this is what is happening. So in recap, we'll have to do a part 2. All right. We'll do a part 2. We'll just keep it going. In recapping, what am I saying? What are you talking about, Courtney Allen? What are you talking about? Before his first election to the presidency, whatever, United States, Donald Trump had produced and hosted reality TV shows The Apprentice and Celebrity Apprentice in 2004 to 2015. But we know he was there in the 1980s in Hollywood, connected. He was a connected man. He made his billions and millions and all that kind of stuff, right? He was there shaking hands, with the likes of all of the elite, all of the A-listers and whatever. They lots of photos. You cannot deny that, okay? Came and got on TV, reality TV show, essentially kicking it all off. I think the Real World kicked off reality television. Let me see, the Real World. When did that kick off? Okay. The Real World is an American reality television series produced through MTV and Bunham Murray Productions that most recently aired on Facebook. Yeah, but when? Okay. So from 2014 to 2017. So that was in 2014. Wow. That's strikingly, amazingly close to his first election. I thought the Real World was earlier than 2014. What is going on? Oh, wait. After airing on MTV from 1992. Yeah, I'm like, what? So 1992 to 2017. Okay. First broadcast in 1992. There you go. Says the show was inspired by the 1973 PBS documentary series An American Family. You know what, y'all? I'm not going to do it now, but I would wager that if you look back and go down that rabbit hole, I bet you're going to find an investment by one Donald Trump in this stuff. I'm just going to put it out there. He was back there in the 80s, and his money was in there. He's going to be in anything that, you get what I'm saying. Somebody else can do that rabbit hole, or perhaps we'll make some time another time. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? So that was essentially, the first reality TV show. Okay. Then in 2004, okay, he comes out with a big reality TV show. Okay. The Apprentice, Celebrity Apprentice, whatever. Okay. So yeah, his money goes that long. Then you had, the Me Too movement, 2006. So just 2 years after Celebrity Apprentice and The Apprentice. So you just got to follow the line, okay? So this Me Too on MySpace, okay, is created by Tarana Burke, okay? And then obviously we know that in 2017, 11 years later, Hollywood is going to grab that, capitalize on that, okay? And that some friend, quote unquote friend of Alyssa Milano, recommended that she use the hashtag or create a hashtag Me Too. Right? Where was that at? Here we go. On October 15th, 2017, Alyssa Milano, who has a long history of activism, was a friend suggested that she post a message on her Twitter Twitter account, who essentially became god of Twitter besides Elon Musk, right? Mm-hmm. Didn't they take it over? Who took it over? Oh my Lord. Wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. Who took Twitter over? Didn't Elon Musk take that over? Hold on. Stop. Wait. Stop the press. Stop the press. Stop the press. Was it TikTok or Twitter? Wait a minute. Look at, uh-oh. You see? When you go down that rabbit hole, y'all. When you go, 40, get out of here. Get out of here. Elon Musk completes $44 billion deal to own Twitter. Are y'all picking up what's going on? Do y'all see what's happening here? Yeah, he changed it to X, correct. But that's not the point, right? Follow the money. We just, look, y'all. Where was that at? Where was that at? Look at what we just uncovered. Just that quick. On October 15, 2017, Milano posted the message from the Me Too movement that essentially relaunched what is known as the Me Too movement, which was started in 2006 by Tarana Burke. According to Milano, a friend suggested that she post a message on her Twitter account. Yes, the same Twitter account that Trump used for campaigning purposes, I believe became like the first president to do such a thing. Well, obviously Twitter came late, right? But the point is to use social media or a platform in order to garner as much popularity as he did. And then goes into an alliance with one Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, 452 billion or so, who gets his own office, as it were, in the United States government. Corporatocracy formed, dystopian society on its way. And this uber wealthy individual turns around and buys Twitter, which was used by Alyssa Milano at the suggestion of an anonymous friend to encourage survivors of sexual harassment and assault to post it as well on Twitter, which is now owned by Elon Musk, which is now connected to Trump, which is now the president of the United States. Are you picking up what I just put down? Coincidence? I think not. BB Production says, yep, he wanted quote unquote free speech for all shortly after they banned Mr. Trump. Got to let the king speak. The king needs to be able to reach the global network. I can't think of a better way to do it than social media, Twitter, or the likes. Whew. Notice he didn't go to TikTok per se, did he? No, Twitter, which is owned by his crony, Elon Musk. Coincidence? I think not. Fred Mitchell says, I thought the Amazon guy was the richest. No. You want me to fact check it for you? No. Elon Musk surpassed him and became the richest. Fact check myself just in case. Watch this. Goodness gracious. All right, we got to get out of here. I got to let y'all go to watch our football. Here we go. I stand corrected. Not 452 billion. 432 billion. It says Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla, is the richest person in the world with a net worth of 432 billion. After Musk is Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon. Other billionaires with some of the largest net worths include Blase Bluesy. Oh, they're all going to be on board too. Welcome to the new corporatocracy, y'all. It's on and cracking. With that being said, I don't know what to tell you. I do know what to tell you, but we're going to have to wait for next time. All right. For now, I believe we've been on for about just short of 2 hours. Hopefully you got something from this. Hopefully you'll go a step further and do your due diligence and research and come back and help me to provide this knockdown, drag out, hard hitting in your face information. Do what you can to help me out. You can always send correspondence to my KnowledgeWell Media YouTube channel, to my KnowledgeWell email, which is knowledgewell4u@gmail.com. That's the number 4, the letter U, @gmail.com. I believe it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. So why don't you do me a favor and capitalize on it. You see what I did there? So anyways, with that being said, also, don't be afraid to help us out. If you like this type of content, if you like this type of delivery, and if you like me, maybe, I don't know. Go ahead and donate to us at $AmericanConsulate, which is our Cash App. How long will that be around? Yo. But it's still there for today's purpose. If you want to donate, any little or big thing that you do is greatly appreciated. It helps us. It builds morale, makes us want to keep doing what we're doing. So we greatly appreciate it. I thought I had a scroll. Is it scrolling already? It might be scrolling already. Maybe. I don't know. But anyways, I really appreciate you all for being here. And now you've been made free. Free indeed, right? For you should not surely die, naturally. But God knows, the source knows, nature knows, that in a day that ye become a consumer, that your eyes will be open and you'll become like gods, knowing the definition of terminologies and words and the esoteric meanings. And you'll know the difference between what is metaphorical, allegorical, and what is actual, natural. You'll know the difference. That's when you become like gods. You'll become like the elite, the illuminated ones, no longer deceived or tricked by the little specks of lies that they put out there. That's when you become like gods. All right, with that being said, love you all. BB Production says, live in love and in light. And we'll see you on the next live. I'm thinking I might try the Tuesday thing. We will see. Look for the announcement of that or the post announcing that. Back to work tomorrow, back to the grind, up early a.m. All right, make it a great day. Inauguration day is tomorrow. You're going to be on board. You're going to get on board. New World Order. I contend Antichrist. Globalism. All of it's official, made official tomorrow. Yeah. Look back at my archives. I covered the Antichrist, the Mark of the Beast. You'll see the weapons of the warfare that will be used by this elite figure. Now, the new king, the first king of the United States of America. Make it a great day. Peace.